Entertainment news today. You're such a dragon gay. Everything sucks and it's no good. That comes out of Hollywood. But there's one place you can go to get all your news and info, and maybe even have a laugh or two. You know it's true. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We're Stephen nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark. All those bombs and flops, but MEAD never stops. We will keep going through the night as we keep up the culture fight. Midnight's Edge after dark is life. We stand for nerds and geeks, we will survive. From Star Wars to Jurassic Park, it's Midnight's Edge after dark.
Greetings, everybody, and welcome to Midnight's Edge After Dark Live. It's February fantastic 4th. We've got some $2 coming in. Love for some, I was trying to say some love for Klobby, and we got $2 at the same time, and my brain don't want to work. So, FKHC 2005, thank you for the $2 and sending in some love for Klobby. Yeah, it's kind of tough not to think of Klobby on a day like this, and I'm sure he will come up in the discussion. But we got a panel here full of some fine gentlemen. We've got CC Karaoke coming in from Canada. How you doing?
Doing all right. Glad to be here.
Glad to have you. We also have all 32 flavors of Nick Weiser.
Hey, Tom. What's up, CC? Hello, Price. Hello, chat. Yeah, Fantastic Four trailer came out today. I am absolutely ready to talk about it, especially as someone
Hey,
who
Nick,
has...
how's it going?
His body is ready.
I am ready to talk about a trailer for a comic that I have read the entire original run of, and I've got thoughts, so let's get to it when we do. Hello,
You got
everyone.
thoughts? Can you share them?
No, not yet, Tom. You still gotta say hi to me first. You can't just go to Nick and then skip me.
I don't
We're
know what
talking
I
about
thought about
thoughts.
that trailer, Tom.
We're talking about thoughts. I mean thoughts.
Yep, I watched that trailer, yeah.
Hey, Bryce, how you doing? So you're doing an impression of Nick doing an impression of you.
No, I did an impression of Nick, and then I did an impression of Cece.
Oh, it was CC. Okay. I'm still confused.
Yep,
All right.
it was well, oh yeah,
This is getting really good. I'm having too much fun with this.
Oh boy.
I watched the trailer, Tom.
CC sounds like sad Kermit. You know, it's tough being green. To him, it's like, oh, it's tough being Canadian.
No comment.
Me, I just sound like I'm crazy.
Hey, being crazy around here, it is all right.
I don't
Well,
think
I
I can
gotta-
really do a Tom voice.
Are you
I
sure?
got practice. That's tough for me. I can't do a Tom either. Your voice is perfect for me because I already kind of have like a deep voice, so it's just like, okay, I just gotta sound a bit more serious, so I can I can become you more.
Right,
glad
and I
to hear
just have to
people
do kind of a
compliment my
fake,
voice.
like, Southern accent of sorts. I don't know why I do that, and that's that's my Nick impression.
I would love to hear somebody try to do an impression of me. That'd be funny. I don't know if anybody
One
can.
day, One day,
I'll
Tom.
have to think
I
about
don't think
it.
anybody can nail me down because I'm a guy who does impressions, and those are usually the hardest to impersonate. Like, do you hear people doing Jim Carrey impressions? No.
No.
Robin Williams, kind of, but not very often. Very rarely.
I
Very
don't think
rarely
I've
do you
heard
hear, like,
Robin
Eddie
Williams
Murphy
one.
and shit like that. But impressions are one thing, but this left a lasting impression on me, and I can't believe this doesn't have more likes out for me on Twitter. We got our first look at the popcorn bucket for Snow White, and I was like, oh, look, it's a flaming dumpster.
Yeah, that was
The
good.
Dog Man, the Dog Man one was way better. I'm just gonna say it was really cool, and they literally used a doggy bowl. You know, dogs eat food in, and that was the popcorn bowl, which I thought was hilarious.
That doesn't count, Doc Fortune, because you're doing an impression that Jim Carrey invented, so you're just doing that. See? So, nobody ever does an impression of Rich Little, though. Action com. They do, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever heard anybody do, I'm going to do Rich Little's voice now? No, you never have. But yeah, how does this get passed? Right? Like, you gotta believe somebody didn't look at this at some point and go, you know, the Twitter folks are going to eat us alive. This is a
They're so
flaming
stupid.
dumpster.
Yeah, I can't even understand why they would make that their bucket.
This is called posers. We had a term for that back in the day when we used posers.
Well,
and these
CC and
people
I
got this wrong.
CC and I had a theory. Why don't you go ahead and tell them your theory? This is more your theory, so yeah.
Well, my theory is whoever designed this had to have had a clue. I mean, if people can do that by pushing the message, they can do it this way too, right? Guys
Really,
sitting
let's
there
see how
thinking,
far
well,
we can
you
get
know,
this. Yeah.
yeah, the people up above probably don't. They don't know what the heck is going on, but I do, and I'm just gonna make a joke out of this. Or maybe someone doesn't care if they get fired, or you know, there's a lot of ways that whoever's designing this just to be like, yeah, let's do it.
What do you guys think? Oh, go ahead, CC. Finish.
No, I was just saying because you were saying right that this is supposed to be a mining cart. Because that's my question. It's like, how does this have anything to do with Snow White? And okay, I guess there's mining carts in Snow White.
Hi ho!
It's not the first thing I'd think of when I think of Snow White.
Well, the
for a
little
popcorn bucket.
dwarves, that's what they do. They mine. They're miners.
Yeah, I'm not.
Disney
picking that
knows
joke
quite
any
a bit
further.
about miners.
There we go.
Heyo.
What about you, Nick? What do you think of this thing? Do you think this was on purpose? Do you think this is just an unfortunate design? What?
I think they're just retarded, and I think this is definitely just yeah. That's it. This movie just needs to come out,
Are you really retarded?
get itself over with.
We're getting close. Doesn't it come out in like a month?
Yeah, next month. It's really weird to think this got pushed back a
Or isn't it the end of this month?
Yeah, no, it's March. I can't remember the exact date because it was supposed to be March of last year, and then of course the Zegler stigma stuck so hard that they pushed it back a whole year. So it seems like they're doing that to make people forget how awful she was on her press interviews.
There's two different problems. One is Rachel Zegler, and the other one is Peter Dinklage and all the little people problem. So between those two problems, the budget inflated and they tried to delay it. But as much as I think that Zegler is annoying,
Don't forget inflated egos.
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I don't prefer Zegler, and I think that she's a big part of this movie not doing well, because I don't think it will do well, I will say that I think this production seemed to be, have a lot of problems. Even if it was another person in the lead role, this production still had a lot of problems.
Yeah, I agree with that.
She's just like, I think of, let's say, The Little Mermaid. As much as people didn't really love that swapping and all that stuff, and that movie isn't a movie that made money, but I don't think that people went out and had like a personal vendetta against that actress, Halle Bailey. I don't think anybody cared about her. They're just like, well, she was offered a role, she took it. And I don't think, I would even say, I remember in my review saying that she seemed rather pleasant. I mean, I didn't have anything personal against her, but Rachel Zegler makes people not like her, which is a big difference.
You're right. This movie has a lot more going against it. That's true. Speaking of movies that have things going against it, we got a trailer today. We also got another super chat from Jim Henson himself. Sends in $10 and says, Disney has forgotten what families are really like. The new F4 trailer proves it. Oh, we're going to get into that right now. That's right. It's time to talk about the news. We got a Fantastic Four trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody see it? Oh, well, if you didn't watch it, we're going to watch a little bit of it now.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Pedro.
That came off creepy as fuck.
Pedro Pascal.
Well, there's our answer. Is he going to be any good as Reed Richards? No.
I'm not seeing it right now.
That came off like Stepford Husband. I'm serious. Watch this again. Like, is this either mocking family dinner or he's just like coming off like a fucking robot?
The Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
It's like he's reading it off a
Violin.
teleprompter.
Maybe he's trying to do what
Probably. I don't think there's, I mean, this is just obviously my take. I don't really think there's just anything to it. I think that's just a whole family having a habit, and this is kind of what they stick to. And trust me, I'd say that I'm not a fan of Pass Hole, but I don't feel like there's anything personally wrong with that line. No, I do have my problems still. That's not one of them.
he's a good actor, but I think maybe the hardest thing to convince people of is that you're smart. Acting smart is a very, very challenging.
I'm with Ryan Lynn too. I do need more context into that scene too. I mean, if you have a set like family routine, yeah, that can be fair, and you can't really.
Oh, we're
judge that
EFAPing this
fully.
frame by frame. Trust me. If they're going to do it to Superman, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, is that what I think it is? It's a Mexican Iron Man spotting. He's in the wild. I see him. Olay. All right. We got Pack of Proton says Reed Richards turning into, oh, hi, Mark. Well, you'd have been a better Reed Richards, Mikey. That's for damn sure.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming? Yeah, I'll be the judge of that. Okay. Okay, is this guy good or what? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
Okay, we get a little MCU gay humor there.
Why is he making food?
Wasn't
What
that
is this guy?
hilarious?
Why is he making food? Why do they always want to put these guys in the kitchen with an apron making like hors d'oeuvres and shit? Fuck that.
And why does the thing sound like Rocket Raccoon?
I don't know. You know what? Say what you want about Michael Chiklis. That guy sounded more badass than this. I actually liked Michael
It's
Chiklis.
clobbering time. At least he
I
did a
like-
voice, right?
Yeah,
Like-
yeah. He had like some attitude in his voice too. And you know
Well, he
what?
even said it was as cringe as it was. I think it was in the interview. He's like, when I'm doing the voice, I pretend like I got gravel in my throat. Like he does.
Yeah,
Like
it was fine. Maybe he did it over the top a bit, but I liked that cast. Maybe they needed better screenplays. Maybe the effects weren't there yet. But I think that the cast with Jessica Alba, that was a much better cast than this. Ian Gruffold, whatever his name is, I would take him right now. I don't know where he is or how old he is. I'll take him instead of Pedro Pascal right now, like in this role.
Oh Lord! Guess what? We're going to talk about people like you in just a little bit. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
Anyhow, we got to finish this first.
T-5.
This July, Fantastic Four is going to get beat by Superman.
You couldn't turn invisible.
By dinosaurs.
Ben wasn't a rock.
You're probably
The
right.
best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And
I mean, at least they understood this, but this is kind of schmaltzy and in like really on the nose, this part here. But anyway.
Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together. As a family.
All right. First impressions?
Yeah.
I don't hate it. It's just, I mean, it's like, do I like it better than even? And I was pretty meh on the Superman trailer, but do I like? Is this more than a 7 out of 10 at best? Like they needed to really convince me personally. I think needed to convince a lot of people, and they're not really. It's not blowing me away. The aesthetic is nice. I'll give it that. That's one thing I like. But it's not exciting me, you know.
I'm in the middle of the road. I'll give it a chance, but there's just stuff about it that's I'm not as excited as I was hoping I would be for it. Actually,
It's a slow moving trailer. Right? It's a lot of kind of long shots. They spend a good 15 or 20 seconds with the thing in the kitchen. Okay, but it's a 90-second trailer, and you have to put your best foot forward. You know,
that's a pretty harsh review. Adam Ledgway says, as much as I didn't like the Superman trailer was better. Ouch.
You know why? Because even the Superman trailer had him, going from place to place. You saw some things happening, maybe too many things, maybe too many characters and too much James Gunn weird crap. But at least it looked like something was happening. This just looks like some weird snooze. And the characters, man, I don't know. The thing, I don't like it. And
the voice is not quite right. It
no, yeah,
like
they made him seem like he's a butler or something. I don't know. He sounds weird, and he's like he's cooking in the kitchen and shit. And then in addition to that, you have Pedro Pascal. I like didn't buy one sentence that came out of his mouth. I'm sorry. I know he's fine. It's not that he's a terrible actor. And some things he's okay. There's also a matter of being overexposed. Like, how many times do I have to see Pedro Pascal? Sometimes when you see somebody so much, it's already like it already influences the believability and the performance because we keep seeing him in every movie. It's just too much.
Well, and I think part of the problem is there's not as much interest in this as you'd think, because I forgot to see where the trailer was at. When I looked earlier, it was only at 1 million views. That's not much for, like, I mean, at this point, like, I think this Superman trailer, this many hours being out, I think already had what, like 10, 20 million views? Because within 24 hours.
Yeah, but Superman is one of the most popular heroes of all time. That's an apples and oranges thing. Superman's supposed to be decimating the F4. As much as I love the F4, if you had to look at it very, like, objectively, Superman should be running circles, even if it's a crappy Superman trailer.
Maybe, but I don't know. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say, okay, it is up to 15 million views now. Never mind. It was like really slow moving at first. I guess everybody waited till after work to watch it. Yeah, it was only at 1 million earlier, but now it's up higher. I just checked here. Sorry about that. And then we got Corbin Dallas, or Kalekioki, sorry, who says casting is better in Superman 2 except for Guy. Yeah. I don't know, I'm not trying to compare the two. Nick is right. It's apples to oranges. I'm just being a bit of a dickhead. But I'm not really impressed by it at all. Like, it's not doing anything for me. And I think kind of what I was getting at, Nick, is like, I think interest in Marvel and this stuff is kind of waning. But I could be wrong with that many views. I could be very wrong.
No, I do agree, and the interest is waning part, but I do think obviously there's going to be an element of curiosity for some seeing the Fantastic Four trailer. So I don't still think it'll hit Superman numbers, but I think it will do, let's just say, fine. It'll do fine in terms of views for a track. It's still way too early to gauge how it's going to do opening weekend. It's really hard to tell right now. But I think the show will do fine as far as, because, it's the first trip. People want to see what the F4 is like in the MCU. So it's not been done yet. And obviously, you got a tease of Galactus. So it's going to at least warrant conversation.
Kalekioki sends in 5 and says, both this and Superman are playing it insanely safe. Seeing what the other will do, competition will be real this July. Liked Superman slightly better. Yeah, I was surprised they didn't change the date for Fantastic Four, so I don't think they are. The mom says, where's my female surfer? Oh, right, left out. Well, she'll
be in the second trailer.
Probably. And yeah, you're right, Monkey Jeebus. I'm just mad that it doesn't have any Ninja Turtles or midgets in it. Yes. This is true. Cannot argue with
too
that.
funny.
So Nick, what do you think Klobby would have said to that?
Ooh, I feel like overall, I don't want to sound like I'm speaking for Klobby. I don't think he would think it's the worst thing ever, but I don't think he would be fond of it either. If I had to take my best guess, Klobby would probably be around a 5, and here's why. I think he would. So some might bastardize me saying I'm being too nice, but whatever. Here's why I think he would give a 5. He would not like the appearance of, he would not like the voice of the thing, but I think he liked the design of like the eyebrows and that he's big and bulky. I think he would like that it's bright and looks like a period piece. The aesthetic of it is there. And also we have a Galactus that looks like he's going to be gigantic, and he's got the, the big thing on his head as well. Also, looks like it's definitely going to be definitely not trying to be another 800,000 origin story. It looks like at best it might be very quick on it. Maybe they'll do like a opening credits, the Incredible Hulk thing, or just kind of like have a quick 1 minute. So it doesn't look like it's going to really dwell on it. So I think that's, if I had to really try to do my best to not put words in his mouth, that's where I think he would like. What I think he would not like, obviously the voice of Ben Grimm. He would also like him in the trench coat. He would definitely like him in the trench coat, because that does harken back to a lot of times that he wore his trench coat out there in the rain and such. I don't think he would like Pedro Pascal with the mustache. Say you shaved your mustache for Wonder Woman 84, but not for this. And to be fair, I don't know if that was something he was asked or expected to do. That could, for all we know, that could have been Marvel. That could have been Marvel. Like, oh, you're fine. You don't have to do that.
I'm thinking it's a Marvel thing, because if you do not notice this or not, go back to every time you have somebody who's in a flashback role, like to that period, they all have mustaches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the thing is, Reed Richards is clean shaven, and they should.
No, I get it, but I think it's to them. There's somebody in that group that's like a production person involved in that stuff that thinks that, oh, I'll just give them a mustache because that makes it look like they're from the 60s.
Yeah, and I get that from your perspective, Tom, but for me, it's like Reed Richards doesn't have a mustache, especially like the whole thing is they went for a blonde for obviously Sue Storm. Vanessa Kirby is her name. Is that her name, Vanessa Kirby? And then they had the one guy from Stranger Things season 4 dye his hair blonde, and that's fine because they're brother and sister. They're the Storms. They should have that. Okay, so they went the extra mile to do that, and then to have Ben Grimm, actually look like Rock. Why couldn't they do this one other thing as well? Why was it so hard for that? So I don't know. I feel like he would have not been happy to see where it looks like it's Sue Storm leading the team. That would have probably been Klobby's biggest gripe. That looks like it's a movie centered around her character. And I know he was a fan of her. Him and I had many discussions on this, and we were pretty much in lockstep on a lot of these things. Like, we both like Reed, but Reed's also the smartest character in the Marvel Universe. Not the smartest man. he's the smartest character. You could probably say some guys are close to his intelligence. Black Bolt, Prince T'Challa, Stephen Strange. Okay, fine. Those are all really smart men. But Reed Richards, at the end of the day, is the smartest character in the Marvel Universe. It's not even up for debate. Full stop. It's Reed Richards. What I got out of the past holes stuff in this trailer, see, he didn't feel like Reed Richards. He didn't act like Reed Richards. It felt like he was being, I don't know, not really a intelligent man. It just felt like it was. And once again, I'm not think I could fault him for that because he's going with what he's given. But either way, it was not great. I think you would also like the flames of Human Torch and like Klobby, I feel like him and I would have been lockstep on this. I thought the flame and the whole flying around, I thought that looked cool. So I think that I even saw a few Kirby nods in this trailer. I gotta rewatch it again, but I feel like they're at least once again they showed you.
It
that
almost
there was
feels a little too pastel to be Kirby. Like it's like. Does
well,
that
they're
make
trying to be
sense?
color of when they were saying live and Technicolor type of world, which is fine. I'm good with that. I'm very good with that.
Yeah, but it's not the solid kind of poppy colors that Kirby
but
was.
you could always save that for when the movie actually comes out. I mean, you don't want to blow your load with a trailer. I mean, we just said, what's that movie with Jason Statham called Working Man? That the trailer kind of gave the movie away. So you don't want to blow your wad. So I can give it that pass as well, just for the art of consistency per se. But yeah, Vanessa Kirby, all due respect to her, as much as I liked her in Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, she should not be leading the Fantastic Four, assuming that that's what this is. It looks like it, and I'm not happy about that idea at all.
$5 says they'll have hyphenated last names. Saying it now.
I won't place that bet,
Storm
but
Richards.
I can definitely see that happening.
Mikey's in the house still, and he says Klobby was a purist. I think Nick is 100% correct. At best, Klobby would have given it mid-grade, and Klobby was the F4 global expert. I wonder what name he would have gave it.
I don't think he would have liked it.
What do you call it? Frustrating 4, or craptastic 4, or...
I think usually he doesn't get. Usually historically he didn't have a name set until he saw the movie. Because I think my whole theory with his names was he watched the movie and then as he was going through the movie, and that's like, oh, that's it. That's the name. Okay, that's what I'm gonna be. He was not a guy to have the name in advance because he still wanted to try to be fair, even if it was something he was highly against. And that was something, Klobby, I always gave him credit for. Even if it was something that was absolutely against what he believed and stood for with classic comic books, he still wanted to give it a shot. And that was a very commendable thing because he had every right reason not to. And also, by way of Klobby's statements are basically my statements as well. So how I think Klobby's felt is definitely how I felt about it. So we've done 800 streams on this by now. I know it's only the first day, but it shows to show you we have had great conversation just to talk about this. But yeah, July is going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to see how this does because I at least think Superman will have a good opening weekend, whereas Superman has 2 weeks to gain momentum to try to be good before this comes in. And, well, who knows what it does.
Yeah, anybody else got anything else to say about the Fan 4 Stick? Fan 4 Stick first steps?
It's just very underwhelming.
Yeah, it was. I can't disagree with that at all. And then we got John Evan Bear who says, it's my birthday today. Well, happy birthday, John. And I think Bat Tom would come in and say hello. Hello, John, and happy birthday to you. Are you really a bear? He is Canadian. Screw you guys. Well, you must have pissed him off. What'd you guys do? He's mad.
I didn't do anything.
I don't know. Y'all didn't say nothing, I guess. I don't know. Goddess of Whims in the house. Thank you so much for the 10. Says, I'm at work today. Oh, no. Just dropping in real quick on the Fantastic Four trailer. Sue has Reed's balls in her purse. She's going to girl boss him. And Johnny to nothing. Probably. Sometimes comic accurate is a bad thing. Okay, bye.
So what part of that's comic accurate? Because
I think she means like the looking. Maybe she's not into the look. Maybe I'm just assuming, but
if that's the case, that's fair. For me, I'll straight up say I love the look of the color and all that. To me, this movie should be a bright movie. It should also feel like a family movie. This doesn't. Once again, it's a trailer, and I could be misled, but it definitely does not feel like a family movie. It should feel like a mixture of family and sci-fi, because the Fantastic Four were not really just heroes. They were adventurous. They were people seeking out the unknown, the oddball stuff. They were the ones who were the groundbreaking force that, pretty much toward the floodgates down for a lot of the crazy characters that we got introduced in the Marvel Comics universe. It really was. I mean, Black Panther debuted in a Fantastic Four comic. Silver Surfer debuted in a Fantastic Four comic book. A lot of essential characters all debuted in the Fantastic Four. A lot of characters would not exist if it wasn't for the Lee Kirby run. Straight up 111%.
well, and what I'm getting at though is like the color is fine to a point. It's just too pastel. It needs a little more contrast. That's what I'm getting at, if that makes sense. Looking at it now, it looks like the Fantastic Four Easter special.
I'm fine with. I really don't have any issue with the color, but maybe that could just be me. I don't have any issue. I can see why you would see it and be considered pastel. I could see your point of it, but I just have no issue with that.
And that's fair. I'm just nitpicking on that, I guess.
Yeah, we'll see. It's not brightly colored, but it's definitely not dark. It's not Zack Snyder or anything.
No, and I don't want it to be dark.
It's not the
either.
Eternals. That's what I was saying. It's like this does not look like the Eternals whatsoever.
But when I think of Kirby colors, go ahead, CC. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying it's a very, very low bar to set, but at least I'm not in a dark room, But I agree with you. It's there's no like bright popping colors in the trailer, right? It's the whole like their whole base of operations is it's kind of like a light wood, pine, that's fine.
It's basically mid-century modern furniture and style and design.
Yeah, so
That's what
all that stuff is fine.
It,
that's not even really what I'm talking about.
No, I think that what annoys me here is that it doesn't seem like this cast has anything. I don't know if to say chemistry with the little that we saw. They don't look like a group of people to me. I feel like I know I'm like a broken record. Even those Alba ones looked like they were a group of people working together. It doesn't look like that here. Maybe I'm being hasty.
Something like that. I need to see the actual movie to make that judgment. That's there's not enough there for me to judge on that.
You're right. There's not enough, and I should wait to see the movie. But if the trailer wanted to sort of tease that, it wasn't doing it.
Yeah, the problem with the trailer is that
that's where you have to figure out the intent of the trailer. Was it intending to do that? What was it? What was it trying to show off? The color of the movie? Is it trying to show you that it's not a dark movie? Was it trying to show you who's the leader of the team? I don't think we know the specific intent of what this trailer is trying to show. Besides showing us that, some of the characters look comic accurate and some of it doesn't. I really don't know, but I don't think it's the worst trailer ever. I think there's honestly a bit of a mad overreaction about it, especially on Twix. But at the same time, I don't think it's a good trailer either. It's just there.
Well, and this is what I'm talking more about. What Deer says here. I hated the lighting. Everything had this fuzzy, soft, or has a soft, fuzzy lighting. That's what I'm talking about. Like Thor, Love and Thunder, Ragnarok. They managed to pull off the Kirby look, right?
Yeah,
like
color's outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, there's just something here that just feels. Maybe it's because it's set in an alternate universe, but I even kind of get to a point what Price is saying. Not so much like the dynamic part of it, but it almost looks like a lot of this shit is not even shot on a stage anymore. It looks like it's shot all on green screen, and they're just sitting there in front of a green screen and then just plopped in the scene digitally. Like everything just feels off. I don't know.
I
I'm not
agree.
gonna.
I
Is
agree
that kind of what you're getting at too, or no?
that too. It feels very kind of, well, once you have all this kind of fake scenery, I think that the cast also don't feel the same way. So that could be one thing why it's coming off as kind of phony and weird. The other thing is just I don't know if this cast has chemistry. I don't know. Then based on the trailer, I just didn't see something. It didn't. Sometimes you have a trailer for like a group of guys doing something. Okay, let's say the Expendables. Okay, in the Expendables, you see a bunch of people. It looks like they're going to have fun making this movie, and you're going to have fun watching it. It may be an idiotic movie, but the trailer is going to sell that idea to you. You know what I mean? This thing isn't selling anything to me. It looks like it's a boring snooze. The thing sounds like a butler, and he's cooking hors d'oeuvres. Pedro Pascal, I don't buy him at all. So it's already 2 out of 4 is problematic. And then you have, Vanessa Kirby, who people in the chat are saying she's not hot. She's all right. I don't think she's the same as Jessica Alba. I don't know if she's the right choice for this character. She probably is one of the ones that annoys me the least, although I'm not sure about her. And the guy, that was in Stranger Things, he's kind of like a coin toss. I don't know if he'll be good or not. He's not a bad actor, but I don't know if he's going to be good or not.
I'm with Dearest in the chat. I think they wanted to show off the thing. I think they're impressed with how they pulled that look off, and they wanted to show it to us.
Yeah.
And they also probably had the intention of thinking, hey, we have a good aesthetic here. We're being comic book accurate. Look, we're righting the ship. I think they kind of wanted to show a bit of that, but they didn't really pull it off.
Maybe that's the intent of this trailer. It was to showcase the somewhat comic accuracy of the trailer, not really much else. Maybe that was the intent. I need to look at interviews with the director, see what's on his mind, but maybe that's what it was.
It's just a guess, but on my part, that's what I'm feeling. But I agree with Price. They really, if you want to sell us, you should sell us on the chemistry of these 4 characters, and that's not in the trailer.
Yeah.
There's a lot of individual shots of them in the trailer, right?
You know what the problem is, and this is what I think it is. The trailer might be fine, and for most people it probably is, and it probably looks fine, like Nick is saying, and all that kind of business. Here's my problem with it, and this is maybe just a personal thing. It feels like a girlfriend who's cheated on me too many times, and I just can't stand anymore, trying too fucking hard to get me back. That's what it feels like. It's like you're still failing on so many levels, but I get what you're trying to do. I appreciate the effort, but I'm not going to be able to fuck you again without thinking about all the other dudes you fucked. Right? Like that's kind of where I'm at with Marvel.
Yeah.
It's like I have zero
If this was a loyal
emotional
girlfriend,
attachment anymore. Yeah.
If this is a loyal, clean girlfriend, I'm probably a lot higher on things right now, because I look at the flaws and I'm like, it's okay. It's probably going to be good because it's, I like what I'm seeing in the
It's
areas.
like I
that I'm
might get
liking,
drunk, I might watch it just to be, like a quick fuck, but it's about it.
It didn't. I found it underwhelming. I'm not saying it's going to be bad. I'm just saying that they usually know that they need to create a trailer that sort of piques some interest. I don't think this trailer did it. I feel like when Deadpool and Wolverine, when the trailer came out, you kind of felt that it may be halfway decent. I didn't feel that way here. I could be wrong. Maybe there's a whole concept that I'm not understanding, and I'll just be blown away by how good it is. But there's something kind of very lame about it. I don't know, the kind of annoying music and the dialogue, whatever we saw until now, just I didn't like it.
Well,
Yeah.
we mentioned that it feels like they're playing it safe, right? And that would almost be the worst possible thing they can do. It's like a director, as you mentioned past, Tom, and I see this in music too, a band or an artist gets into a really, really bad spot and they're trying to win you back. And what do? They make the safest possible product they can to do that instead of taking any kind of risks. And this might just be a really, really safe, plain movie.
I don't mind safe if it's good. I mean, right now they need to. They're in a position where they need to have an element of safeness with the Fantastic Four and how bad they've gotten everything wrong with the Marvel universe, but they still also have to make something good as well. You still have to make something that's good and entertaining. I feel like that's the bigger issue you got to worry about is making sure it's good, because safe is good, but it's not ultimately going to save your movie at the end of the day. It's just kind of like, okay, good. Hey, we got this. We at least got the basic idea of the Fantastic Four right. Now we can let loose with a sequel, should that be the case.
Well, and honestly, I'm not against any of this idea. It might still work. Like I said, it might still be a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like this should be a fresh start. I mean, I get it. They're calling it first steps, and I know it's almost like a wink wink. But I mean, at this point, they should just clean the slate. But anyhow, Squirrel sends in 5 Australia and says, we've already had a perfect Fantastic Four movie, The Incredibles by Brad Bird. I don't think too many people would argue with you, Squirrel.
Oh, that's one of my all-time favorite movies. That's how much of a fan I am of the first Incredibles. One of my favorite movies ever. Huge fan.
The second one was very meh. And speaking of that, Lost for Words says, I give 0 Fs about this film. It's meh. Thank you for the £2 Lost for Words. Then we got Pilgrim Media in the house. Says, what happens to Marvel if it does bomb? If it bombs and the other 2 movies bomb this year, that is big bad. But we have to see all 3 of these bomb horribly. We're talking Marvel's level for them to panic. Some people seem to think that Captain America is still going to be able to do okay. I have a feeling that curiosity alone will probably bring people into the theater, even if the second trailer is a fucking train wreck. Because at that point, you're just giving people a reason to go see how bad it is. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. What do you guys think if this bomb, what happens to Marvel?
Nothing. Straight up, nothing. They will just continue to, I don't know, try to right the ship, I guess, or act like they're trying to right the ship. I know you guys had that conversation. Was it with Chris Gore a few months back? Or, sorry, I know you are not on good terms about, or maybe it was because I caught him on open bar, but he said that apparently someone at Marvel said they're trying to right the ship. And I don't know what his sources are like, or if they're reliable, you're unreliable, but assume that's true, that they're trying to right the ship. They're not there yet. And I mean, once again, that's judge off this trailer, because no matter what, Passhole is not Reed Richards. He's just not. And you can never sell me on that, no matter what. Even if the movie ends up being okay, you just look at the trailer, and if there's one fair judgment we can make, he didn't act like Reed Richards.
And ActionCom, to answer what's their competition, Superman and Jurassic, unless Jurassic comes out at the end of June, I can't remember, but I think that's July 4th, isn't it?
I gotta think this is coming in third of those 3 movies, one way or the other.
That's what I'm wondering, yeah.
There's no way it beats Superman or Dinosaurs.
Oh yeah, well of course not. It's not gonna beat Superman. And yeah, Dearest is right. Yeah, female Silver. That's definitely one element you are not gonna be able to right the ship on, no matter what. They'll spin their way out.
They clearly avoided showing that in this trailer, yeah.
Yeah, but that's, once again, you can save that for the second trailer, because most trailers, you want.
I wonder if they'll show him him in the trailer at all. Because they can't get away with just showing the male version, right?
They're going to tie them to the Avengers.
Norrin Rad in this? I didn't know Norrin Rad was supposed to be in this. I thought.
I believe it's the whole thing is I don't know if he is actually going to show up in this movie or not, but somebody had claimed it, and I think it was high enough up that if it wasn't Feige himself, that yes, we will have both the male and the female one. Because remember, this Fantastic Four is set in an alternate universe. So when they come here, they'll have the male Silver Surfer, I guess is the idea.
Oh, God, I thought we were done with the multiverse. Unless this movie's like the bookend to the multiverse.
Oh, this is supposed to all tie right into the Avengers. That's another thing. Don't forget, they're going to try and tie it in with that, so you have to see it. Remember that.
But wait,
because Robert Downey's probably going to show up in this bastard. He's supposed to, isn't he?
But isn't it supposed to be happening in the 50s, or it's just an alternate universe?
alternate universe in the 60s.
So they're going to have to jump through time. They're going to have to.
Yeah, basically, the understanding is by the end of this movie, they'll wind up in our universe, or the 616. A la kind of how
in present day, like they'll just jump time and unit. Okay,
that's the assumption. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, it's
reserve
getting
judgment on that, but it doesn't.
Scott Hughes is in the house. Sends in 5. Says trailers are supposed to get you excited about paying to see the film. They use the second or third greatest scene in the movie. This stirred zero emotion. Well, and the problem is the trailer is bogged down by that comedy bit in the middle. That's a trailer you save, or that's something you save for like a trailer for television or later down the road, not your teaser trailer. This should be teasing the idea that, first of all, we're in a completely different world where superheroes don't exist or whatever before the Fantastic Four exist. And kind of getting an idea of what they look like, which they did do. So that part they kind of hit. And I mean, I will admit they give us a little bit more story-wise or character-wise than the Superman trailer did. And that's what I keep trying to remind people is that one was a teaser trailer as well. But we got zero dialogue in that. There was not one stitch of dialogue in that whole trailer. This, we got plenty of dialogue, and it seems stilted and strange, and true, there may be more context to that one scene with Pedro Pascal, but don't pick that, because it comes off as creepy weird. It's like I'm waiting for him to go, it puts the lotion on its skin, and then it puts it in the basket.
It's a psycho thriller movie, and he's going to turn on everyone and go American
It does, it has,
Psycho.
that's what it feels like a weird, twisted, like fucking Fincher movie or something like that, like you're waiting for any moment for it to like, it's like it takes place in Pleasantville, but it's like instead underneath it has, or Cronenberg movie or something, you know what I mean? Or a Lynch movie.
If that's what's happening behind the scenes, that would actually be pretty cool. But there's other part of me that wonders if Pedro Pascal is trying to act like a classical male husband of the 1960s way too hard, and he doesn't even begin to fathom it, and it's just coming off as really, really creepy.
Or an M. Night Shyamalan movie, even worse.
He doesn't know how to play a man, period.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he actually has to play one in this movie.
He can voice being a man. He can do the voice of it at best, but as far as playing a man,
he can voice doing a very subdued man.
Yeah,
I'd rather see the Fantastic Four by Wes Anderson at this point. I think it'd be funnier. Deeple 101 sends in 5 and says, breathes in, audible breaths out. That's my SM and FF review. Superman and Fantastic Four. Neither have given me a reason to rush and go see the movie. They're similar to the Fantastic or TF1. Transformer 1.
Transformers 1, I think is what you meant to say.
And then Flying Blind on a Rocket Cycle sends us a super sticker. See what it is. Probably a Shiba dog. It is. Giving us a thumbs up. Thank you for that. Reminding us to hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. SFX F314 Sabretooth Raptor sends in 5 and says, didn't know Culture Casino was playing Father Time in Fantastic Four. In other words, there's an idea for Culture to wear an elf costume or 50 or 60K. Yeah, there was the old man in there. Who do you think the old man is in the trailer? Besides Gandalf.
I don't know. I have... Maybe if I was more invested, I would have taken the time to think more about it. But I don't know. I mean, also it doesn't help that I don't really care that much to know.
Well, they're tying it into the Lord of the Rings universe now, so it's all interconnected, and it actually is Gandalf.
Is it in? Is it safe?
Don't know. Don't know, as the drinker likes to say.
You're a fool of a Richards. It's John Malkovich. That's what I can see here. Who the fuck? I didn't even know John Malkovich was supposed to be in the movie.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did hear about John Malkovich being casted for it.
I'm in the Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know who he plays, but...
the villain, I think?
Wasn't he supposed to be the Vulture in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 4 that never was?
Was it him or yeah?
I
think you're
swear
right.
I thought he got casted for the part. I swear I thought he did.
You might be right. I'm trying to remember if it was him or somebody else. It's the actual wizard from Shazam.
The actual
Super homeless man? Yeah, no, that's California man.
Oh, too good.
Is it Red Ghost? Do you know who Red Ghost is, Nick?
Yeah, it's a could be. I didn't recognize that as Red Ghost, but it could be. Yeah, it could be.
All right. Well, Gandalf's in the movie, played by John Malkovich. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So we made the write-ups. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Hollywood and Toto actually wrote up about us a little bit.
Nice.
Because we did a video yesterday. We were one of the first ones to bring out the news that the director, Damien Leone, yeah, that's how you say it.
Mm-hmm.
Damien Leone, sorry, had been had been under fire from mostly the lefties. Honestly, I didn't see anybody from the right, to be honest with you. If there is out there, I haven't seen it. I'm not saying that there isn't, but so Damien takes the stand against tribalism and then faces it head on. So what is this all about? Well, so do you know who Damien Leone is? Besides, well, obviously he's did the Terrifier film. So here on the panel, who all seen the Terrifier movies besides me?
I haven't seen, but I've seen the whole thing that he basically he was saying that he didn't want to make the movie political, but I didn't have context as to why like he was being pressured now.
Okay,
I don't think he was being pressured. He was just mentioning that when making these movies, I never, really considered.
Oh, there was actually motivation behind this, Nick.
I'm sure there was. Nobody makes a statement like that unless somebody is busting his balls.
But my main question is I just wanted to make sure if anybody has seen it or not, because like I said, I've seen them. I think they're pretty good. The first two anyway. The third one was not as good, but that's neither here nor there on this part of it. So what is going on here? So basically what happened was David Howard Thornton, the guy who plays Art the Clown, and one of the other cast members said some pretty harsh shit about I think the president and of course some of his new policies, and you can imagine what those were probably all about. And I think also specifically about certain trans rights and other things. And basically they told the right to fuck off, or Trump voters to fuck off, I guess in so many words was what happened. And then because of that, and because there was a bunch of pushback because of that, as tends to happen when you do tell, a good portion of the country to fuck off, Damien had to come out and make a statement. So that's the motivation for this. Okay. And he actually addresses it in his statement. So he wrote this statement and he actually posted above it on X. Hopefully I never have to bring up politics publicly ever again, but this is desperately needed to be said on behalf of the Terrifier franchise. Now you would think in the last 24 hours or so that those wokey wokes would have gave up and read themselves to sleep. But oh no, they're getting worse. Because that Umbrella guy pointed out that he's got over 1,000 negative replies to this now. If anybody's dealt with one of these little motherfuckers, you know exactly what they're like.
Yeah,
So
but
anyway,
he's not equipped for it. He's gonna cave probably.
He already did a couple places, and this is where we are coming in and trying to tell him, don't cave to this shit, because, we know what the fucking circumstances are. He doesn't. You're right. So anyhow, he wrote in his initial tweet here, or whatever you call this statement, I want to make a very important statement regarding the Terrifier franchise in this ugly political climate we're living in. As most of you know, some of my cast and crew members have very passionate political presence on social media with extreme and sometimes harsh opinions, which is their right. I'm all for freedom of speech and expression. And anybody who's seen his movies knows that's true. That being said, Terrifier is not in any way, shape, or form political franchise. And it's not. There's no political leanings bent or anything like that in the movies. I did not get into filmmaking to become a politician or promote any political agendas or ideologies, especially through a killer clown movie. I fell in love with horror movies as a form of pure entertainment, and those are the films I like to make. Since Terrifier 1, our cast and crew has and still consists of both Republicans and Democrats, and anyone is welcome to be a part of it regardless of their political affiliations, as long as they're decent human beings. Or they're decent human beings. Sorry, I didn't mean to editorialize there. That goes for our fan base as well. If this doesn't sit well with any of you, with any fans or cast and crew members, that is your right, and I respect it. You don't have to buy a ticket, and you don't have to work on these films. So he's basically telling both the actors and the people who are freaking out, either don't watch it, or you can fuck off and you're not going to be in the next movie if you don't shut your shit down, right? Like, shut the fuck up and quit bitching. Anyway, thank you, and I recommend you don't let toxic rhetoric on, I don't remember, can't see what the bottom part is there, no. On either side of the political spectrum, deter you from being a Terrifier fan. That's the rest of it. So anyway, I want to thank Toto, though, because he actually gave us credit for bringing this to his attention. So yeah, needless to say, they are not giving up. They are just going after him endlessly. And if you've seen my Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. He's getting a lot of love, but he's also getting a lot of vitriol, of course, from one side. You know what I mean? And we did a video about it, so I do say check that out. But what's your guys' response to this? I mean, I guess you don't even really have to have seen the films to respond to this kind of a situation, I don't think.
You know, it's sad that this is where we're at with this stuff, and it just goes to show you, like, once again, like Hollywood, at least a portion of it is still really deeply entrenched in this manic, psychotic ideology, and this is something a lot of far leftists still refuse to comprehend. I said this earlier in my Twix. They refuse to think that what goes on in LA, Portland, New York City, that what goes on there in those cities is something they think that's reflective of the world. It's not. They need to understand that their ideology is not the law of their land. Their worldview just straight up got bitch smacked by 75 million people. They need to learn to actually coexist with us, not just sit because of putting on a cheap bumper sticker on our car saying coexist. You actually have to actually do that rather than try to make it sound like only certain people can like a thing, but no one else can. Back up your inclusion comments and don't give us this half-meaning BS. I am so tired of these people, but you know what? At the same time, it's kind of funny because they're realizing too they are losing power. They're not as relevant as they once were. And the fact that Damon Leone has made that statement, and it's I just checked his Twix, it's still all there. And I just saw his reply comments. There's nothing there that seemed like an apology. Just sounds like, okay, just he's still sticking to his guns, and that's good. He needs to not fold because the
He didn't
minute
really
you fold,
but yeah, he did.
but
say a
if
few
you
things.
fold, then they will never let it go. They will hold you to a higher standard. And for some of them, they will say, oh, you need to apologize harder. You need to apologize enough. You need to go donate money to so-and-so. They're going to expect so much more of you to a point where expectations will be impossible to reach with this type of thing. He just needs to, in my opinion, he just needs to just leave his comments there because, and not honestly just respond to it. If it's too much for him, you know, that's fine. I get it. But then just don't respond. I get why he wants to try like make peace with these types. I get it to a point because, you know, they could be paying customers for all we know. I personally think they're not, but he doesn't know them, so he's trying to, you know, not prejudge, but he needs to definitely just not engage with it, period.
Yeah. Price, anything to say about it?
No, nothing, you know, beyond. We're already very familiar with this situation. I'm curious to see what this guy will do over the next few days.
Like I said, he has responded to a few people, like a few people throwing mud at him.
Right, and he was like being apologetic. I saw that's the one thing that I noticed, that he's like somebody that was like in the LG community was like, "How dare you?" And he's like, "No, I love LG people. You're the best." And then like suddenly I saw your comment.
nothing
y-
wrong with that because
no,
that's
it's totally fine. But I just remember then seeing Tom's comment. He's like, Don't stop. I don't. What did you write to him?" He's like, Don't giving it into these weird virtue signalers. It's not going to help you." I don't know what you wrote to him. Probably you said it
Something like
nicer than
that.
what I just said, but you wrote something to him.
Yeah, I mean, his tweet wasn't. I mean, I wouldn't say he was buckling quite the way you put it. I mean, but he was a little bit, and that's basically what I said. Don't give in to these fucks. Yeah, it's like, because as soon as you do, they're not going to stop.
He was crumbling under the pressure.
He
I
was
don't
starting to.
honestly
Yeah.
see it that way. I saw your video, and I've seen
Well,
the
hopefully
comments.
video-
I mean, if you want to have people who are on that specific demographic as fans, there's nothing wrong with that if they genuinely, truly value your product. And he also is not aware of how people like this work the way we do. So he's a lot more naive and gullible to the stuff. He doesn't truly grasp the concept of how crazy they get. So he's obviously coming into this more from a good faith, whereas he doesn't realize that they're going in from a position of bad faith. He's trying to play nice, but he doesn't realize yet you can't play nice. Do I think it could sink in later on in life? Yeah, maybe, but he's going to have to go through the ringer first before it truly sinks in.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that tweet that you're talking about.
Find it. Find it
trying
now.
Hey,
Come
I am
on.
so good at
works.
Twitters.
I mean, at one point I was there. I'm sure a lot of people were there, and I tried way too hard, and I spent way too much energy trying to find a peaceable solution. And hey, peaceable solutions are good, but it has to be with people who actually want to find a peaceable solution, not to just, put you through a struggle session.
Well, he's
And then
in
I
a
found my way here and
minefield.
met all of you.
He's walking a minefield, and because
Yeah,
he's
well, yeah.
walking that field, he doesn't know who generally is trying to hear him out. So he's just kind of giving everyone the benefit of the doubt, judging from his position. That's why agave. He's trying to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't realize that you can't negotiate with someone who doesn't actually want to negotiate.
Oh yeah, I mean, respect for taking the approach of giving people the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, he'll have to learn just like everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it. I used to be that way. I never apologized for things I said, but I at least try to, explain my positions and try to talk to people, and I try to understand position. And the more I would do that, and this is when I'll talk about the Corona lockdowns, let's just say, not to make it about that, but just make it a point here. I thought, okay, maybe these people just don't understand my positions. And the more I kept commenting and talking to people, I realized, okay, these people actually don't care. They want me to change my answer. They want me to apologize. They want me to change. And it took me probably a few months before I really let that sink in. And I guess that's what I get for living in a Chicago bubble as well. So I guess in that respect, joke is on me at the time for not knowing better. Because yes, big city can put you in a bubble without you realizing it.
It seems Forbes picked up on it too. Thanks to Six for bringing it to my attention. So yeah,
I like he's putting the foot down. He's not just calling out the fans. He's saying it to everybody involved. Get along or get out. Got a movie to make, man.
People who say I have
Jenny Nicholson. Of course, she's got a piss poor fucking take.
Yeah, and that's people like that where everything needs to be a statement. Are people who have no life. They're the type of people where they have ghosts, where they imagine everything has a bend to how they perceive things. It's kind of like when I don't know if you heard about it, Tom, but the longtime writer of X-Men comics, Chris Claremont, said, hey, just so you know, these characters are not these allegories for all these things that people say they are. And that drove a lot of people on the comic side of Twix really angry because they love the allegorical obsession of, well, this is a stand-in for that. This is a stand-in for that. And now it made everyone crazy and go after Chris Claremont for it. So it happened to him too.
If you're already mentioning Chris Claremont, I have a really off-topic question to ask you about him. I have a Wolverine issue #1, not the limited series, but then the regular series.
Yeah.
And it's in pretty good condition, and it's signed by him. But I bought it before the days of all the CGC stuff, meaning I bought it from somebody else that had it, and I believe the signature is real. But could anybody ever acknowledge that, or because I didn't have the CGC, it'll never be seen as real?
I think Chris Claremont's on Twix. You can ask him if that's his signature. From what I hear, he's pretty easy to get a hold of.
No, but even if he says it, how do you make it that it's really? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what happens?
You
in a
want it
situation like-
authenticated. Is that what you want? You want
Right,
it authenticated?
Instead of having him re-sign it, can I just now make it so that it's signed? Never mind. You understand what I
What
mean?
do you mean make it so that it's signed?
I want the CGC to recognize that it's real.
I would I don't know how it works because honestly I've never been in that position to know how that stuff works. I have honestly, for the amount of writers and artists I've met, which is a fair amount of them, I've never been much of an autograph guy, and in the very few times that I did, I would have them kind of personalize it, like to Nick or something. So I don't know. I that's just never been my.
I think I know the answer. They're not going to accept it unless he signs it in front of them. But it is what it is.
Maybe.
Well, now we gotta go into some other thing. Yeah.
Tom
That was my
called
Tom
away.
impression. It was awful.
That was horrible. Didn't sound nothing
It
like
was
me.
the worst impression ever. I couldn't. I don't know why.
That sounded like a fucking cartoon character. What the fuck
That
was
was
that?
hilarious.
I tried my
even
best, Tom.
close.
You disappeared.
No, I was here. I was listening to you guys, but
Too funny. Now, if anything, Price, you should just read that comic away, man. Just read that Wolverine comic away, because even though I haven't read all the issues of Claremont doing Wolverine, the stuff that I have read is really damn good. So you definitely will get your time's worth.
All right.
no, really, that was pretty much all I had to really say. Yeah, that was pretty bad. No offense.
It was a pretty good impression. I agree. I'll never attempt it again.
I just
Yeah.
want to hear CC.
Trust me,
try
I
it,
had thought on my own personal time of how could I do a Tom impression one day. I have. Like, there have been times where I'm on my way to work, driving, listening to music, and I think about how do I get the Tom Kaiser impression.
I don't know if any of you talk fast enough. That's part of the problem.
I can talk if I'm in the right mode, like if I want to like get in like a tangent for like
Yeah,
a
but I
video,
got that
but I
thing
can't.
when I
But
get in
you
the
have a
role.
different way that I cannot do.
It's because I'm from Wisconsin, and we talk fast up here in Wisconsin.
What are you doing?
What?
What?
What did Price say?
I don't think Price said anything. What do you think, Nick?
I was looking at the movie and I thought, what the fuck are you doing?
It's an improvement.
A little
It was
bit
an
closer.
improvement.
Close. If I sounded like I was 12, maybe.
The thing is that he goes into these kind of fits of rage, but I haven't been able to really nail that. Yeah.
Nobody can. That's why it's all mine. You are so nice, Mecha J. You're a nice person.
You are very nice.
It's an impression.
Just do a Nick Cage impression, Felix.
No, Price.
Yeah.
Price should do Tom impersonating Nick Cage. That would be the real challenge. I don't know if he doesn't got it in him. That's a very tough.
It's too much for me. It's too.
I
I'm not
I
really
Take
an
his
impressions guy.
face off.
I'm gonna take his face off. Oh, I got caught here. Oh,
I'm not like Tom.
Madden.
Really, I'm not an impressions man.
Nick does that's pretty good. It's pretty close.
Shut up, Tom! This man speaking! What are you doing on your own show? I'm on your own show. Now it's my show.
You killed my family, and I'm gonna kill you. You took my face, and it was so
I'm gonna
beautiful.
take my
Told people
face
quit fucking with my
back.
face, and they always fucking with my face.
Well, I'm here to take my face back. Caster Troy.
Yeah. Oh, everyone could do an Andre. We all have our own Andre. We all have an Andre. There are times where
Yes,
when
if
I look
only
at
actually could do it the way he does it.
every time I get a Midnight's Edge video notification, which I actually do get them, every time I see the headline for the video, I always hear Andre's voice immediately. It's straight up the first thing I hear is
You know what,
Andre's voice.
You guys really want to know where my rants come from, or at least where basically, like, I wouldn't say I'm impersonating them, but it was my influence as far as a rant goes. Can anybody figure it out?
Sam Kinison?
Nope.
I don't know.
It's Steve Martin from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh, what?
When you're telling these little stories, why don't you do something? You know, it's nice if you have a point. You know, like, that's where I got just that attitude. Like, it just, you know, you've pushed me to the point where I'm so fucking pissed. I'm going to say every goddamn little thing that I feel right now, and I don't give a shit. That's where I got it from.
Wow.
Nice.
Solid source.
That's where I found that attitude. I don't know where. And that's whenever I do that, it's just kind of, that's my channeling, I guess. I don't know how to express that.
Mm-hmm.
I want a fucking car with 4 fucking wheels and 4 fucking doors. And I want to write fucking now.
Awesome.
I was pretty young when I saw that movie. There was some shit my parents let me see I couldn't believe.
Well,
Rambo was
outside
another
of that one tangent, the movie is pretty much like I guess you could say a hard PG, but it's a really harmless movie. It's just those scenes where it really R's it up, really. Because I actually forgot it was rated R up until that scene. I'm like, whoa, okay, this came out of nowhere. And then when I did my homework for the Talk to Tuesday, I'm like, oh, wow, it was rated R. I thought, oh, maybe this brought it up to PG-13. Little did I know, it made it an R.
Totally did. And it was really the "you're fucked" line. Vorpal, you're not wrong. Like, he's basically my spirit animal all the other times. That's so true. We got Sergeant Point Blank who says, you have to study Broken Arrow to learn Travolta. Because I was a bad guy in that one. And yes, flying blind on a rocket cycle, it's horrific impressions night. Why I always gotta fuck with my impressions? I work really hard on my impressions, and he's always fucking with them.
Hi, John.
That was from Saturday Night Fever.
Oh, man, I haven't seen that in so
Well, this
long.
was later in life, Ron. I was already screaming and hollering by that point. That made me laugh, though. Like, that's one of my favorite characters in a film. This is not Vietnam. There are fucking rules.
Oh, man. I love The Big Lebowski. Another great movie.
That's one of the best comedies of all time.
Straight up, man. Such a good one.
You're out of your element, Donnie. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, man. Yeah. Jeff Bridges really nailed it with that one. That's for certain.
Yeah, what is it with you and Nam, man?
I gotta rewatch that movie.
Not everything is about Viet fucking Nam, man.
Hot dog. The Fantastic, yeah, right?
Ooh,
because
the Transtastic 4. Ooh,
yeah, the Transtastic.
That might be a little too on the nose. All right, I'm done. I'm done with the bad impressions. We got paid to stop by Flying Blind Rocket Cycle. Oh, Lord. time. No, the full impressions thing, guys, just so you know, because you're like only getting half the story. So before we start the show, like you guys have heard like Price and Nick do each other's voice. We have talked about coming on the show and each of us picking one of the other person to do an impression of and seeing how long it took you guys to figure it out. But I just think it would be too much.
Well, we just need to start let's give the chat the insight.
Maybe we could get it. Maybe we could get away with it now that they know.
First 5 minutes. We need to start show the first 5 minutes. I need to stay as Price. Price needs to be me for the first 5 minutes straight. No excuses. And CC needs to find a way to be Tom for the first 5 minutes, and Tom needs to be CC.
That's easy because all I got to do is just sit here and once in a while go, yeah, I don't like it.
Well, you see, Tom,
Yeah, I got the hard one here, man.
It's I think at least me and Nick, we could pull this off. We really commit to each other's voices. We've practiced enough now that we have each other down. I realize I just sound like I'm doing puns like Nick, and I know Nick is the king of the puns and being on the nose.
One of these nights, maybe I'll just come on by myself and do my impressions of all y'all.
I want to hear you. I was gonna say I want to hear you do me, but that sounds really homo.
Do me, baby.
But I want to hear your voice impression of me.
Oh, I don't know. You guys will probably be like, "You're an asshole."
Well, that means you did a good job. If that's the case.
Mikey, I've done before. He's difficult to nail. He's so hard to nail.
Oh,
it's tough to pin him down.
Oh,
trying to think of how many more.
How do you say that?
I have to go right now because Bambino's taking a shit.
Oh my god! Bambino, stop it! You stop it right now. Bambino's probably looking at the radio, going, "What the fuck was that?" Because he was driving last I knew. I don't know if he has Bambino with him though. I didn't ask.
Maybe he was riding up to you.
No, he's out on the coast. I saw palm trees in the pictures.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, Price did a pretty good mic. That was a fairly decent mic.
That was Price, yeah.
I need to stop. This is not. You don't know me, Jan. I have dug my way to China so many times. That's why I'm not married.
Oh,
I don't know when to shut the fuck up.
6 Shields
I'm surprised
violated.
I'm not in prison. Cops probably felt sorry for me. Like, this motherfucker's got to be dumb. Nah, he's just retarded.
Are you really retarded?
We can't put a retard in jail.
No, you can't put a retard in jail. So that that's a good way to get out of a ticket. Please don't put me in jail. I'm retarded. Oh, crud.
I'm probably legally retarded in at least 7 states.
Seriously, like, look at me. I'm biting my own skin.
All right, let's get out of here. Nick, you got a show tonight. We're going to be talking about Ferris Bueller.
Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. And another thing.
You, sir, I'm an asshole.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole. Oh, man. Yes.
Well,
So anyways, if you haven't somehow haven't grasped the concept or gotten a hint, we are talking about Ferris Bueller's Day Off in 1 hour on Toxic Tuesday. It's been a long time in the making to get to this one, and one of the greatest Chuck Norris roundhouse kicks by someone who's not Chuck Norris, and it's not a roundhouse kick. I just want an excuse to say it. Done by Ferris Bueller's sister to Ed Rooney.
Back when his sister was hot, before she got the nose job, and became like just a nobody.
And she macked it with Charlie Sheen before he was winning with full-blown AIDS, being a full-on Sheen machine.
He's totally Charlie Sheen in that movie.
It's funny.
It's like they just call her like, "Hey Chuck, you want to be in this movie? What do I got to do? Just show up."
The scene is funnier now than it was then because of before the by winning days. It was a funny clip just because, oh hey, look at Shashi. But watching it now after the by winning tirade, it's like, wow, it was right in front of us the entire.
They probably did fuck too. To be honest.
Oh, you know they did.
Chuck fucked everything that moved. Like when he come walking in the room, the fish would stop swimming.
Straight. Hey, that's why he was the Sheen machine, man.
He got tiger blood.
If it moved, it got fucked. That's it.
He was telling us the cure for AIDS, and we didn't even know it. Tiger blood.
I heard there's a local convenience store by me that renamed their Slurpee to Tiger Blood a month after that happened.
Shit.
Yeah.
I bet they regretted it after they found out he had AIDS, though. Change the name! Change the name!
Oh, so great.
Sergeant Point Blank sends in 5. Remember there was a candy called AIDS? I shit you not.
No.
Yes, they had to. They taken them off the market because of AIDS.
Oh man.
What did they take? What did they take off the market?
AIDS candy.
Oh, there was a candy called AIDS.
Yes.
I don't remember that.
Oh, damn.
Candy. And I'm not gaining weight. I'm losing weight deliciously with the aid of AIDS. The AIDS diet plan really works.
AIDS candy contains...
So, like, yeah, the South Park joke actually had another level to it if you were aware.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's a safe and effective appetite suppressant when used as directed. Helps curb your appetite so you can lose weight. And AIDS candy has no stimulant that can make you nervous.
The plan lets you enjoy 2 AIDS before each meal.
I had AIDS and I got very nervous.
Delicious chocolate flavor. And I love being a size 10 again.
Lose weight delicious.
Well, AIDS will
Did they
definitely make you
rename them
lose
at least,
weight.
or what did they do?
No, I think they went completely out of business.
Oh man.
It works.
Oh, dude, I wish I had known about. I gotta find a way to incorporate that into Toxic Tuesday. Oh,
I got AIDS at home.
Oh,
Since I got AIDS, I've never felt better. Losing all sorts of weight. Oh no. Anyway, Sergeant Point Blank says, I've been watching so long, I'm starting to emulate Price when I rant about without realizing it until I catch myself. Exactly. That's what happened to me. One day I realized, I'm like, holy shit, I'm just being Neil from fucking Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Because I guess sometimes especially when I was younger, like, I would just keep shit bottled up until I would start just fucking blowing up.
Wait, he said he emulates me?
Yeah.
Do I ever even get upset?
You hate everything, bro. That's the joke. Like, I'm the one who gets accused of hating everything, but you seriously like hate everything. So when you do like a few things, that's why we get surprised. It's not just a joke. Like one of these days, I'm hating for you to come in and say, I hate oxygen today. But I didn't have to fucking breathe.
When
it.
something is good, I like it though. I feel like people don't. I'm misunderstood. Even in my videos, if I don't like something, I try to find things that I like about it. Sometimes things are just really bad. What can I do?
Well, we get along in that respect because I pretty much hate everything.
Yeah, I guess.
I just hate bad pizza.
Well, doesn't everybody?
You know, because a lot of people still like Pizza Hut and Domino's.
I doubt they like it.
I wish you were right. I almost hope you're right.
They just don't realize that there's better pizza and or they're just cheap motherfuckers. Or they're like me and they live in a town where 9 times out of 10, the only thing open is Pizza Hut and or it's the only thing that delivers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cheap. I see that medium pizza deal, the walk-in deal, and I'm like, I gotta get that. I don't want to spend like 30.
Told you, fucking cheap bastards.
Yeah.
Pizza.
I rather. That's one of those cases where I just don't eat. My life is My life is too good and too short to bring myself down to the state of pizza that disguises itself as pizza, aka cardboard paper with toppings.
You're not wrong. But Price, what do you got coming up?
At 11:45 p.m., there's the Night Owl on my live stream channel, which is Price of Reason Live. And if you're not subscribed to that, you should subscribe to it. 11:45 p.m. Eastern, with Professor R2 and some other guests.
Awesome sauce. CC.
I'm just gonna play video games for the rest of the night.
That happens. All right.
Often. Yeah.
With that, we're gonna get on out of here. Hopefully Mikey is doing well. I saw him in the chat again. If he's listening still, say hello to everybody out there. And thanks to all the mods in the chat and you guys for listening, all the super chatters. You guys keep the lights on here. And with that, we will see you next time.
Cute kitty.
Available now for the first time ever on DVD from Midnight's Edge After Dark Productions. It's My Two Dads, the complete first season starring Mexican Iron Man Tom Connors and Culture Casino. Available now for $19.99 while supplies last.